led by All-Star Jose Altuve. The Astros are one of the hottest teams in baseball this season. Houston is resurgent after 6 seasons, including 3 in which they lost over 100 games. The last time the Giants visited Houston was back in 2012. The Astros were in the National League, and native sons Hunter Pence and Brandon Bell led the Orange and Black to a sweep. The Giants return to Houston, this time for interleague play, and it's all coming up next. The road trip begins tonight here in Houston. We're at Minute Maid Park as we get ready for Giants baseball. It's the Giants and the Astros in Game 1 of this short 2-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants come off a really terrific homestand where they go 7-3. Now, this road trip begins here in Houston. And they're going to play an Astros team that they haven't seen a lot of, but they do know this. They're tough.
Well, they are tough. They don't hit for a big average as a team. They're hitting 228, but they hit a lot of home runs. They've hit 45 home runs on the year. The Giants have hit 20. They've scored 140 runs. The Giants have scored 101. But I think it's all about pitching tonight. Colin McHugh, who is on the hill tonight for the Astros, likes to work at quick pace, puts the ball on the ground. And for Chris Heston, the Giants starter tonight, coming off one of his worst starts of the year where he gave up 11 hits in 5 innings. But he has a good sinker, and in Houston, you're always going to get more sink because of the humidity. I see a fast-paced game tonight. The best defense wins this game tonight.
All right, should be fun here at Minute Maid Park in Houston. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after these messages.
by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code ORANGE for free entry.
We are coming to you from Minute Maid Park here in Houston as we get ready for Game 1 of this 2-game series. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is kicking off summer this Saturday with free performances by Circus of Nations. 77 degrees outside. On the inside, it's 73 degrees. You can see the humidity, as always, is going to be pretty high here in Houston, and the roof is closed. We are waiting for the Astros to take the field, and they come in with a record of 20-12. The Giants come in with a record of 16-16, and let's take a look at their lineup. It'll go like this. It'll be Aoki, the DH, to lead it off, followed by Panic, and then Pagan. Pagan, you can see he's got 30 hits this season. That's the 4th most in the National League. Posey, Belton, Maxwell. Maxwell, the former Astro. It'll be Crawford, Duffy, and then Gregor Blanco will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Houston Astros will be the right-hander Colin McHugh. McHugh, 6'2", 190-pounder in his second year at the big league level. And this is what he has done in 7 starts. He's been perfect. In fact, he's been perfect for 11 starts. And he's one shy of tying the Astros all-time record, 4-0 with a 3.23 ERA. 33 strikeouts against 7 walks in 39 innings. How does he do it? The fastball guy, you're going to see low 90s fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, but for the most part, you're going to see a lot of cuts, a lot of sliders. His back is against the wall. He's going to come at you with one of those 2 pitches. But, I mentioned, he's won 11 in a row going back to August of last year, and during that time, his ERA is 2.45, and that's 91.2 innings. Well, let's take a look at the defense playing behind McHugh. Starting in the Astros outfield, it'll be Grossman, Marisnik, and Rasmus. Good arms in center and right. Gonzalez and Valbuena on the left side. Altuve and Carter on the right side. And Jason Castro will be in the squad, putting down the signs. Talk about the pitches that he throws. It's odd that you see a guy throw 43% sliders and 28% fastballs, but a lot of those sliders are cutters, and he'll throw that a lot. He has a changeup, and he'll throw it. I mean, he has the confidence to throw it in any count as well. And his curveball is also a very good pitch, especially the left-handers. But throwing with a lot of confidence right now.
So both teams coming off a 4-game series, and both teams splitting a 4-game series. The Astros went 2-2 against the Angels. The Giants went 2-2 against the Miami Marlins, and they had to score 2 in the bottom of the 9th to do that on Sunday. So Bruce Bochy embarking on a 6-game road trip, and Game 1 is here tonight. And it'll be Nori Aoki to lead things off. Last time the Giants were here, 2012. So here's Aoki hitting at 282 with a home run and 9 driven in. Colin McHugh throws, and this game gets started with a pitch down low. So we get started at 7:12. Umpires Chet Fairchild behind the dish, Jim Joyce, Greg Gibson, Marvin Hudson, Fairchild behind the dish.
And his strike zone is kind of a high-low. You don't get many corners with it. It's kind of a rule-book strike zone, and it can be erratic. Not an easy zone to pitch to.
No, that's true right now for McHugh. It's 3 balls and no strikes. With Panic to follow, in at third is Valbuena. And the 3-0 pitch is not close. That's a 4-pitch walk to Oakland. Is that Giants fans I heard?
I think it is. They're everywhere.
So Giants fans in the state of Texas have come out tonight for game 1 of this series. Here's Panik. Joe Panik hitting .284. By the way, the only hitter in this Giants lineup that has faced McHugh ever is Aoki, who just drew the walk. Here's Panik. And Panik takes a strike, so McHugh gets right back into the strike zone. He loses the ball thrown back from Castro. Panik looking down at Roberto Kelly. Giants are 5-7 on the road this year. Is McHugh pitching out of the stretch. Aoki with his lead. And there's a bouncing ball foul. I remember one of the Giants employees put it pretty simple about the Giants schedule. It might have been Mario Alioto. The Giants have played a quarter of their home games already. How about that?
Well, it doesn't seem like it, but when you have 2 10-game homestands before the 15th of May, I mean, I totally believe that.
So this is their 13th road game. And Panik on a check swing. On deck is Angel Pagan and then Buster Posey. Both teams are 3-0 against the other league. The Giants swept the Angels. The Astros swept the Padres. Panik takes maybe high, maybe outside.
He took a pretty good pitch is what he took. And for McHugh to save this for a little 2-strike surprise, I mean, it's just a little bit outside. You've got to have a lot of confidence in your eye to take a pitch like that, especially early in the ballgame when you don't really know what the strike zone is going to be like.
Panik fouls it down the left field line and out of play. The inviting part of this park are the Crawford boxes in left field. And a lot of times it's easier for left-handed hitters to drop one into those seats than it is for right-handers. And the guy that you would think would have the best shot tonight of all the left-handed hitters would be Brandon Bell. It's a lot of balls that way. So it's 1-2 to Panik. Aoki goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second, and that's a double play. Bruce Bochy was just talking about that in his office before the game about it's just you send guys and swing and miss. You don't send guys and something else happens.
Well, and you're betting on contact with Joe Panik, who's very good in that regard. You're not going to get a whole lot of help from McHugh. He's pretty quick out the stretch. And you see the throw from Jason Castro, who's got a cannon right on the dot, and Aoki wasn't even close.
So here's Pagan, and Pagan takes a strike. Pagan hitting .322 with 8 runs batted in. He did not start on Sunday. He did pinch hit in the 9th and struck out. Here he fouls it back. Pagan in the Marlins series was 3 for 16.
Look at McHugh throwing it out of the windup, or out of the stretch rather. Very compact.
And a base hit to left field for Pagan. Hard to hit a ball in the air in front of any left fielder here, just because of how shallow left fielders play, but Pagan did it.
Robbie Grossman almost looked like a rover out there and not a pure left fielder out here. But you could do that because of the short porch behind the left fielder here with the Crawford boxes. You could really cheat in.
Buster Posey hitting .287 with 4 home runs, 11 driven in. And he takes a called strike, and it's 0-1. So after the walk to Aoki, McHugh just pounding the strike zone.
Well, he can't possibly have any more confidence than he has right now. You win 11 games in a row, and that'll do that to you.
Posey hits a high pop-up foul down the right field line and out of play. Belt to follow, and then Maxwell. Pagan with his lead, and Carter holding him tight. And Posey, it's a fly ball to right, but Rasmus is moving back, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left after 1/2 inning. Giants nothing. Astros coming up. So the lineup that Chris Heston will be facing, it'll be Jake Marisnick to lead it off, followed by Jose Altuve. And this kid just is a hitting machine. Look at those number of hits. Followed by Valbuena and then Evan Gattis. Rasmus will hit 5th, and Carter and Castro, followed by Gonzalez 8th and Grossman 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the right-hander Chris Heston. See the numbers for Heston in 6 starts, 2 and 3 with a 3.38 ERA. He's been fantastic, and his biggest strength and biggest asset is his sinking fastball. The big guy, 6'3", 195-pounder. He's 27 years old. He's a rookie, and with Heston, you're going to see a fastball that's right around 90 with big-time sink. When he's right, you'll see a lot of ground balls. He likes to work a quick pace. He also has kind of a slurvy breaking ball, but it's quick. And he has good command of it. He'll also throw a changeup. The 4-seam fastballs on occasion, but most of the time you're going to see 2-seamers. Let's take a look at the defense behind Heston tonight, starting the Giants outfield from left to right. It'll be Blanco, Pagan, Maxwell, best arm in right field, Crawford and Duffy on the left side, Paddock and Bell on the right side, and Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs.
So here's Marisnick hitting .319 with 3 home runs, 13 driven in. And there's a called strike. Let's get off to a really good start. Heston said he needed to pitch in a little bit more after his last start. And that's way outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, and pitching in doesn't mean drilling guys. It means throwing strikes on the inside corner.
Lines this one into center field for a base hit.
All right, time now for McDonald's True Story as we go back to August 20th, 2011. That's when the Giants taking on the Astros, and Jose Altuve leads off the game with an inside the park home run off Madison Bumgarner. And this was his first career home run.
Look at the last time. A leadoff inside the park home run.
Well, Richie Ashburn, Hall of Famer, did it with the Phillies against the New York Giants.
Runner goes. It's a hit and run, and it's a high fly ball to right. It's Maxwell who's going to camp underneath it, and he'll put it away. I miss Richie Ashburn. He was fun to be around.
Yeah, he really was.
We lost Richie about, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Altuve gets upset. Thinks he should hit 1,000.
Well, he really does think he should get a hit every time he gets up there. He's not a big guy. He's only 5'6". Doesn't have a whole lot of strike zone. And he's tough to walk. But he squares balls up more than anybody.
Unbelievable. Here's Luis Valbuena. Last time the Giants saw Valbuena, he was wearing a Cubs uniform. With Evan Gattis to follow. Marisnick's got 9 steals, so the Giants have to keep him close. And that's exactly what Heston does. Well, Valbuena with 7 home runs, 12 RBIs, so he doesn't have a lot of RBIs, but he's got a lot of home runs. And he goes around, and it's 0-2.
Good changeup. I think it's important that Heston finds a good feel with that pitch tonight.
On deck, Gattis with Marisnick at first. 1 out. Off the line at third is Duffy. Panic shading Valbuena to pull on the infield. And he got him.
So backed up a changeup with a curveball and a back foot breaking ball out of the zone, and Valbuena down on strikes. This really is a guy that really doesn't know much about Heston, just getting fooled on a pitch that he doesn't know anything about. But nevertheless, that's a great 0-2 location with that breaking ball. You couldn't throw it any better.
Here's the ever dangerous Evan Gattis, hitting 183 with 6 home runs, 18 driven in. So Gattis, here's a pitch in the dirt that Buster Posey has no chance. So that'll put a runner in scoring position, and it's 1-0 to Evan Gattis. But this gets some flesh.
Yeah, I think it did. It caught him on the right hand. Yep. Right there in just at the base of the palm. The Astros will strike out a lot. But as you point out, they also hit a lot of home runs. 45 home runs on the year. Giants have hit 20. Of course, this is a much more hitter-friendly ballpark than AT&T in regards to home runs.
And a strike called to Gattis. Well, a lot of umpires here didn't think that was a strike.
Well, you only have to impress one guy, and that's Chad Fairchild, plate umpire. He thought it was a pretty good pitch. The Astros have struck out 295 times as a team. The Giants have struck out 217 times.
On the ground to Duffy. And Gattis is thrown out to end the inning. Brendan Belt's going to lead things off. The kid from around here. He will lead it off. 0-0.
October 4th, 2001 in Houston. Yeah, right here. Minute Maid Park. Barry Bonds hits number 70. Top of the ninth off of Wilfredo Rodriguez. He was throwing 97 miles an hour. And Bonds in that 3-game series, they wouldn't pitch to him. He went 3 for 6 with a home run. He walked them 8 times, 3 intentionally, and they hit him 1 time. That's our AT&T U-verse rewind.
Here's Brandon Belt. And we enjoyed last night the Barry Hall of Fame Bashoff. And you and I had a chance to sit next to Barry Bonds last night. It was a pitching type. Good time.
Well, we had a chance to introduce him as part of a class of 5 Hall of Famers in the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame. Joined Dusty Baker and Franklin Muley and Johnny Mosley and Roger Maltby.
Belt goes the other way, and it's going to fall. So Belt stays hot.
Well, you cannot walk into this ballpark without thinking back in 2001 when Bonds had that at bat that tied the Major League Baseball record for most home runs in a single season was 70. And as he walked off the field that night, Bonds says, "You know, that's it. I don't want any more. I just wanted to tie him." Well, he would go on and hit 3 more.
Right. And
but
he hit another one the next night at home. So here's a former Astro, Justin Maxwell. But really a good time last night. Mark Ibanez did a great job as the MC. Kevin O'Brien also was part of hosting it. You were fabulous. I thought you were the best one.
Partner, bless your heart.
Maxwell hitting .241 with 3 home runs, 14 driven in. Bounces this one. Altuve's going to have to go a long way, and everybody's safe. The overshift backfired.
Yep, it bit him in the foot right there. Maxwell played parts of 2 seasons here in Houston, 2012, 2013. You can see where they stacked up Altuve, the second baseman, on the shortstop side of second base, and there just really was no play for him. And Maxwell, what we are finding out is once he gets it going, he can run. That's 4-2 from the right side of a guy who's 6'4".
He can chew it up a little bit. Here's Crawford hitting .253. Crawford leads this team in RBIs with 16. Belt at second. Maxwell at first. A couple of big fellas. And Crawford takes high and wide, 1-0. On deck is Matt Duffy and then Gregor Blancos. The Giants are working their way to the bottom of the order. Swing and a miss. Good challenge. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Right above the hands.
McHugh looks to second and throws, and a breaking ball into beauty. So now it's 1-2. Now Crawford's going to have to swing.
Not a lot of history between these 2 guys, so better to see that breaking ball on a 1-strike count than a 2-strike count, because that completely froze Crawford. That's the first time he's ever seen it.
And he hit him.
That's a gift.
That is a gift.
Comes right back with another breaking ball and just pulls it down and in and gets Crawford right on the calf. I doubt that's going to leave a bruise.
Well, it certainly won't from up here.
Yeah, it didn't hurt me. But if you're going to hit a guy, you want at least hit him with your fastball. That was unintentional, of course, with the curveball, but it has created a big-time opportunity here for Matt Duffy.
Duffy hitting .273. He's got a home run. He's got 10 driven in. He had the game-winning hit in walk-off fashion on Sunday. So McHugh throws. Duffy hits a high drive to left. This baby is up against the bottom of the wall. 1 run scores. 2 runs scored. Here comes Crawford. They all score, and it's 3-0. And Duffy comes through on the first pitch. How about that?
Not waiting around. First pitch indeed. Just a challenge fastball to get ahead. And you would expect a challenge in the strike zone from a confident arm like McHugh. And Duffy says, thank you very much. They had shaded him over on the right side of center field, exposed the gap in left center, and he splits the upright. A bag clear and double. And just like that, the Giants take the lead.
So here's Gregor Blanco, who had a terrific game on Sunday. And Bruce Bochy said on his KNBR pregame show that if not for Blanco, they don't win that game on Sunday, and this is his reward.
Bruce Bochy always tells his players, you decide who's in the lineup.
And it's now 0-2, and the same to be said for Duffy, who had the game winner. He's in the lineup today. Hard to argue with him, right?
No, you can't.
0-2. And McHugh's fastball is wide. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nori Aoki to follow. Blanco lines one down the right field line. That's just foul. Got a little bit in on the hands of Gregor Blanco.
All right, time now for our Geico quote. And this one comes from Joaquin Arias on Gregor Blanco's double in the 9th inning on Sunday. So I was looking for the ball and I saw Ishiro trying to catch the ball. It's okay. He got me for sure. I've never seen a play like that. And that was the deke that Ishiro put on the fly ball that clearly went way over his head in right center. He stopped well before the warning track, put up his glove like he was going to catch it, and that froze Arias. And it prevented him from scoring from first base.
And it almost caused Bruce Bochy to go in and have another stint put in.
It is an old play, but to have the presence of mind to put it on in that situation is what makes it so special.
Three and two now to Blanco. Duffy at second, nobody out. A run in, or 3 runs in, I beg your pardon. And Blanco does not go around. And I thought that was ball 4. But maybe the umpires got it wrong.
No, they didn't.
No. Come on, Gregor, you're killing me.
I know. We're all looking. What? So, nice at bat.
Speaking of dekes, here's one by Ichiro after Blanco just deked us.
That ball is right off the squeeze. Now watch the right fielder Ichiro put his hands up like, okay, I'm going to catch this. That freezes Arias. He has to make sure that ball's not going to get caught. He can't get doubled off at first base by committing to third. And once he had to restart, they had to put the brakes on Arias. It's an old play, but absolutely put on to perfection from the 41-year-old Ichiro.
Well, the Marlins also caught a break where that ball didn't do anything but kick right back to Ichiro. So now Duffy's at second. That's Brent Strom who came out, the pitching coach. The hitter is Nori Aoki, who opened up the game with a walk.
It would not surprise me to see Bruce Bochy bunt here.
And he takes a strike.
No sign of it at all from Aoki. I mean, he could do that on his own too. He's a good bunter. It's not a bad play. Astros are going to respect it. Luis Valbuena, the third baseman, playing well in on the grass at third base.
And a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
But for a veteran like Aoki, I mean, he knows what the situation is here. Obviously, he wants to not get a run, but at the very least, he has to have a productive out that moves everybody up. But he's also a confident hitter right now.
Two balls and 1 strike. He moving around in that box like he'll do from time to time.
Cut fastball right there. McHugh thought he had a strike.
McHugh to Aoki, swinging a high pop-up. It's Gonzalez at short. Infield fly rule is called, so Aoki's retired. Unproductive out for Aoki, and here's Pennick. Joe Pennick struck out in the first inning. So Pennick, round 2 now against McHugh. And the pitch is high and wide. 1 ball and no strikes.
One thing about Pennick, when he takes his at bats, I mean, he's going to get some pitches out of you. And it's especially important when he doesn't know a guy. You get 4 or 5 pitches in that first at bat, you at least have a little database to refer to in your next at bat. Have a plan.
2-0. So McHugh now pitching from behind again. So we'll see if Pennick leans on something here, if it's good. Pops it up. 2 outs. It's not exactly the lean that I was thinking about.
Yeah. That's a pretty weak lean.
But here's Angel Pagan. Pagan with a base hit to left field in the first.
Playing shallow in left field with Robbie Grossman.
Pagan hits it to center field, but it's right at Marisnik, and that's going to end the inning. So McHugh does well to limit it to 3, and he does that. Giants lead 3-0.
you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All right, the Atlanta Braves are making their only visit to San Francisco at the end of the month, May 28th through the 31st. And Saturday, May 30th, a 7:05 start. First of 2 postseason Heroes bobblehead giveaways. First 40,000 will receive either a Brandon Crawford belt or Yusmeiro Petit bobblehead, courtesy of AAA. And on Sunday, May 31st, it's a 105 game. First 20,000 fans will receive a World Champions banner presented by Coca-Cola. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets and check it out.
Shouldn't it be a Brandon belt?
Yeah, why not?
I heard you read that. I was going, what? So it's a Brandon Crawford belt.
Brandon Crawford or Brandon Belt? Hey, I just read it.
Oh, you read it perfectly.
It's confusing. Good breaking ball. Heston's got a good snapper going tonight.
Swing and a miss. He got him.
Well, that is big time sink. We talked about the difference pitching here in Houston with the sinker as opposed to, say, pitching in Arizona or Colorado. You have much more air here, and when you have humidity, it gives you something to throw your sinker and your breaking balls into it, and it's almost like you get more resistance because the break is bigger. And that sinker right there is as big as we've seen it all year from Heston. That's a good pitch.
So here's Chris Carter.
Kobe Rasmus has been hot, so striking him out, that's a big deal.
Carter hitting .151, 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, lots of power, lots of strikeouts. And a quick 1-2. Second in the American League strikeouts. Jason Castro on deck. And the high fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Foul back right over the head of Castro, who's in the on-deck circle. Overshift is on. Giants 3, Astros nothing, and there's a high fly ball into right center field for Pagan, and Pagan's going to put it away. And that'll bring up Castro.
In this game, it's a game of failure, and when you watch your young players come up to the big league level, you watch how they handle it. And for Chris Heston, his last outing, as we mentioned, 5 innings, he gave up 11 hits.
Castro takes high, hitting .220.
You're going to watch his next start to see what he brings out. Is he going to nibble? Is he going to be aggressive? Is he going to be confident? And you give up a home run as a pitcher. What are you going to do with the next guy? You're going to walk him? You're going to get after him? Those are the things that set you apart. Will tell your pitching coach and your manager that you belong here. When you can be tough mentally and come back for some rough outings or a rough inning. Dave Righetti, his philosophy is make sure you prepare yourself mentally to compete with every pitch.
High and deep to right. Maxwell back at the wall. It's gone. Castro with his 3rd home run of the year, and it's 3-1. So the kid from Castro Valley hits one out of the park.
Well, it's not a hanger either. He goes down and gets it. Just a high fly ball, but Justin Maxwell just running out of room. And Castro's a tall hitter, 6'3".
Here's Marwin Gonzalez, who lifts this one to left, and that's going to end the inning. So the Astros are on the board. The solo home run by Castro after 2. 3-1 Giants.
Net Bay area is brought to you by Lenardi's Markets. For a location near you, visit Lenardi's.com or find us on Facebook. Lenardi's, quite simply the best.
Well, if you're looking for the ideal gift for a friend or family member that is graduating, check out the Giants graduation pack. It includes tickets to 2 games plus a commemorative class of 2015 Giants cap and an orange tassel. $45, that's where they start.
Posey on the ground to Valbuena, and then one pitch, Buster Posey's retired. Buster going after that sneak attack first pitch, and he just tapped it to third. And here's Belt. What did Belt say he had for passes?
17, I think he said, but a lot more friends and family are coming in from Nacogdoches, which is about 130 miles from Houston. So he is going to be quite the popular Giant here at Minute Maid Field, Minute Maid Park.
Belt takes outside, 1-0. As Mike was talking about. Went to Hudson High School and University of Texas. Belt fouls it out of play. He comes back here for the first time as a dad. How about that?
Well, that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Nothing will settle you down and tire out more than being a dad.
Well, they have a son, Grayson. He and his wife, Haley. But for Brandon Pell, I mean, that was a culture shock because he was a guy that'd go 10, 12 hours of sleep a night. Grayson comes along.
Yeah, it's your early morning wake-up call. Belt takes a bit high, not by much. It's 2-2. Really, in all honesty, what could be better than waking up to a stinky diaper? Come on.
Nothing.
Huh?
It's like no problem with it.
Maxwell to follow. Overshift is on for Belt. And Belt bounces this one. It's Carter who will flip it. And they got Belt. But not by much. And I'm sure Ron Wotus is going to make a phone call on this one.
Billy Hayes, the first base coach, I was watching his reaction. Not a lot of it. But you can absolutely bet they're going to look at it.
Got a pretty good jump out of the box.
I think that's an absolute tie. McHugh kind of slowed down, and I don't think he realized how fast Belt is. Carter just a little flip, the whole play's kind of going in slow motion. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the Giants are going to choose not to look at it. He may have got him. Here's Maxwell.
And that look right there, I think he did, but not by much.
Maxwell with an infield hit in the second. He takes a strike. This one is right back to where it came from, and that's going to be a quick inning for McHugh, so he settles down. Grossman, Marisnik, Altuve coming up. Three-1 ball game as we head to the bottom of the third. Giants on top. It'll be Robbie Grossman to lead things off. Grossman hitting 152 with a home run. He's got 5 runs batted in. And Grossman throws, and there's a high chopper to Panic. Panic will underhand it to Belt. One pitch, one out. All right, let's check out the Warriors in Playoff Central pre and post and Sportsnet Central coverage. Game 5. That'll begin tomorrow at 6:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area and CSNBayArea.com. It is Warriors Playoff Central tomorrow. Here's Marisnik, who singled to open up the bottom of the first, and he takes a strike. What a good start for this kid. He takes low and away. He came over in a trade from Miami. And in that trade, Jared Kozart went to Miami. There's a pitch in the dirt. other people were involved, but Marisnick is 6'4", 221. He's from Riverside. Look out. Inside, it's 3 balls and 1 strike with Altuve to follow. And it's 3-2.
Marisnick is a tall guy. He's 6'4". They got a lot of tall guys on this Astros team.
Got him. And Marisnick knew it.
Heston coming right back in with the same pitch he threw on 3-1.
John Miller is on assignment. Dave Fleming will be in. He'll do innings 4, 5, and 6. I will head over to the radio side. Be back in the 7th. Here's Altuve, who hit a fly ball to right field in the first inning. And he takes just a bit wide, not by much. Wide again, 2-0.
One thing about Altuve, he's tough to walk. He's only walked 12 times in 134 at bats. But he puts the barrel head on the ball.
He also stands quite a ways off the plate, Mike, and he moves into everything. I mean, when you're as short as he is,
5'6",
and you stand off the plate, you think, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it's okay if you move into the strike zone. It also means that you got to keep modest and pitch him in once in a while. He's a good player.
Well, and he's fun to watch. And you talk about catching the imagination of the Houston fan base. And kids absolutely adore this little guy.
Tap foul.
Good pitch. That's a good example of going inside with a fastball and coming right back and going outside with it. Little guy got a good fold in his hat.
He does.
Just like the old man's.
Two and 2 to Altuve. And a full count.
A cut fastball, and that's going to be another pitch that I think you're going to see Heston use more of. Right now, I think when he throws it, he's trying to be too fine with it, but just because of how big his sink is, you have something that moves the other way at 90 miles an hour. It's going to be a good pitch for him.
Got him. And that'll end the inning. 4 strikeouts for Heston. Dave Fleming will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th. It's 3-1 Giants.
Joining us now in the booth, Dave Fleming. Welcome.
Hi, Mike. You happy to be back in Houston?
A lot of good memories. We can't stop talking about the Bonds home run he hit in 2001. That was the first and foremost that was on our mind. But
it does seem like there were a lot of big games, sort of exciting moments. We saw some great Lincecum starts here. The Giants and the Astros over the years had a lot of battles.
It's just hard for me to have it sink in as you see Crawford swinging on that first pitch from McHugh that this is an American League team now.
Yeah.
It's hard to make that adjustment for me mentally.
Well, I'm sure you guys talked about it already, but the Giants manager sort of had to remind himself coming to the ballpark, I need to choose a DH today. There's strike 2 to Brandon Crawford from McHugh. Seems to have found more of a rhythm after a ragged start. Colin McHugh has been excellent. Good take by Crawford on the curveball.
Well, you can see how this guy's put together 11 wins in a row. Works quick, moves the ball in and out, doesn't make a lot of mistakes over the middle of the plate. He's got 3 different types of speed that he can throw at you, a lot of different types of movement, and some really good go-to pitches when he needs to make a pitch.
1-2. Crawford tops that one toward the middle. Gonzalez charges. Quick exchange to throw out Crawford.
Well, you see Matt Duffy about ready to take his second at bat. In the second inning, he steps up, bases loaded. First thing he saw, challenge fastball, and he puts it right in the gap. One hops the wall, knocks in 3. And we're going to make that swing of the bat our forward right choice. That's how you like to start off your night. Any hitter.
Well, the bases loaded numbers for Duffy are, it's sort of unbelievable. I think the total is the Giants as a team other than Duffy are 2 for 22 this year with the bases loaded. He's 3 for 4.
He's got 13 RBIs.
It's amazing.
That's more than Buster Posey.
Knocked in 3 with 1 swing of the bat already tonight. Making a pretty strong argument to get some more at bats.
Well, that's how you get more at bats. Production.
Almost every manager will say that. I don't really fill out the lineup card. The players choose who plays. There's a good curveball, strike 2. That's sort of an old baseball cliche, but you keep hitting the way that Duffy's been hitting, it's going to be impossible for the Giants to keep him out. One, 2. A cutter from McHugh.
Well, that's his bread and butter. That's the go-to pitch. When he needs to make a pitch, I think that's the one he feels most confident in. There's a lot of sliders, a lot of cutters. Not a high velocity guy, but he's got late movement and he's got good location with those pitches.
Duffy chases there, and that's strike 3.
I don't think for 1 second he was not trying to strike him out. Slider, straight down biter. He throws right at the top of the bottom of the strike zone, let it fall below, and hope the hitter chases, and Duffy indeed does. Second strikeout for McHugh. Both have been swing and miss strike 3s.
Well, it's amazing to me. And look, he's made a lot of improvements, McHugh, because the Mets gave him a shot and he didn't pitch real well there. But they traded him to the Rockies. Here's Colorado. They cannot get a well-start game this year. Their starting pitching has just been pummeled, and they cut him. They gave him up for nothing before last season. He's come here to Houston and become an Astros star.
Well, and I think that's the hope of a lot of guys that get in an organization and they get stagnant. Get a chance at another place.
Good curveball, strike 2.
And that you can do what has happened here with Colin McHugh. Trying
to make it another quick 1-2-3 inning. He had one in the third. 1-2 to Blanco is a fastball away.
But sometimes that's all it takes is one scout, one coach that'll go to bat for you, that will stand tall and defend you and say this kid's going to be good, that allows you the time to get good. And so for a lot of guys, it's all the difference in the world.
Ball 3.
It's what makes their career. I mean, remember Bruce Sutter, a Hall of Fame relief pitcher. When I first saw him in spring training, he was days away from getting released. And an old pitching coach with the bat for him, Fred Martin, and he winds up in the Hall of Fame. Really a great story, but it's a testimony to what it means when one guy will stand up for you.
Blanco puts it in play. Carter feeds McHugh, and it is a 1-2-3 inning. So McHugh is settled down, middle of the 4th in Houston. Giants still leading 3-1.
Sunday, Matt Duffy, he became a hero in a 2-run 9th inning comeback victory. He was the guy that got the walk-off hit, his first major league walk-off. The Giants would go home winners, and everybody was happy on Mother's Day thanks to Matt Duffy, our T-Mobile game changer.
Like I said, put the bases loaded, and Matt Duffy thrives. 3 for 4, 5 runs batted in. He got a pitch to hit, and he jumped on it. And that has put the Giants ahead 3-1. Valbuena, third place hitter, takes ball 1. Not your classic third place hitter, 200 batting average, but he does have a lot of power. Hits that one hard, right to Bell. Okay, Brandon was ready.
Nice at bat there too from Valbuena. He didn't know anything about Heston his first at bat. He kind of paid a price, struck out on a nasty breaking ball. Here, a little information now in the database, has a better at bat. He squared him up. Nothing better than an Adam ball, except the 1 pitch out.
For a pitcher.
Yeah.
Here's Gaddis. And that was a close sinker, but called the ball. Yes, it's a weird team, isn't it? I mean, they're a good team, they're talented, but they got a lot of guys like this who are just hacking. And they have a lot of power. They hit home runs. Evan Gaddis, he's hitting 182.
And he does not care. He's just up to bang.
As long as those home runs keep popping up. He's out in front on that curveball. Well, look at that. The Dodgers are leading the big leagues with 49 home. Dodgers hitting has been insanely good. Astros are second in the big leagues in home runs. They lead the American League in homers. They lead the American League in steals. So they got power, they have speed. Another foul ball from Gaddis. He's another guy sort of in that mold of needed somebody to give him a second chance. His career had flamed out. He had all kinds of personal problems. He was out of baseball for years. And the Braves gave him a chance, and he's an established big league player now. Looks like he's swinging an axe the way he holds the ball. The bat hits that one to Crawford. 2 down. Well, Chris Heston, I think you'd say he's pitching well tonight. The 1 home run, I didn't even think there was a bad pitch that Jason Castro hit out.
We were talking a little bit about how important the next start it is for a young player, young pitcher, after he's had kind of a rough start. His last outing, 11 hits in 5 innings. Tonight, he's dealing. So no residue in the mind of Heston. He's been fearless, and he's been in the same mode we've seen him in since the very first pitch of this season. He's been in the attack mode, which is what you have to be.
Colby Rasmus, another guy with big power, hits a foul. Rasmus struck out first time up against Heston. 2 outs here in the 4th. Just outside. And I think he has, look, he's used the sinker a lot, but he's mixed and matched. He's used that 4-seamer a few times.
The cut fastball is one that they're really working with him.
That's a good changeup.
What he'll learn off of that big sinker is that little cutter, and he's thrown it a couple times now. It's been a good pitch. He's been trying to be a little too fine with it right now, and he'll find out he doesn't have to be. And you saw that movement on that changeup. That's 2-seam movement. Now he'll change it, and he'll use a 4-seam changeup as well. He comes right back with it, gets a strikeout. Nice inning.
Yeah, nasty. Well, the Giants will have the top of the order coming up, including Angel Pagan, when we come back to Minute Maid Park for the 5th. Giants lead 3-1.
Area is brought to you by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers.
Colin McHugh against the top of the order, and a first pitch swing from Norichika Aoki. Out number 1. He hit it right to Altuve.
Yeah, hit it right on the screws too. You know what though? You watch good hitters, and they may get no hits in a night. They may go 0 for 5, but they'll hit the ball hard 3 times. And Aoki has done that. I mean, he's constantly putting good wood on the ball. Even when he hits into outs, they're hard outs.
Here's Panik, who has not swung the bat great tonight. Overall, lately he's been swinging the bat very well. Takes a little backdoor cutter, it looked like, for a called strike.
This is a bat that's 33.5 inches long, 31 ounces in weight.
Changeup out in front for strike 2.
A lot of guys use small bats like that. Very commonplace in this generation of players, and there's a reason for it. You have pitchers out there now that have 6 things they can do with the ball, 3 different speeds, 6 different movements.
Panik slashes that one a fair ball. It's going to kick up against that sidewall, and that's going to hold Panik to a single.
Yeah, that's one of those hits off the crack of the bat. You're thinking, I got a double on that. But in this ballpark, because of how shallow the left fielder plays, the ball that hits off that wall is just in foul territory by where the ball dude sits down the line. It kicks right out to you. And Robbie Grossman, I mean, he plays this beautifully. Nice opposite field swing of the bat from Panik. And watch this ball come off and where Grossman is standing to gather it in. Single.
Now Panik will take it behind of the count. He's aboard in front of Pagan. Giants got the 3 runs in the second, all on one swing of the bat. Matt Duffy, bases clearing double. Ball 1 to Pagan. He was 1 for 2. He had a hit to left field, so did Brandon Belt. So you got 3 of the Giants left-handed hitters who have flipped the ball into left field against McHugh, or hit it to left field. It's not easy to do. The left fielder, I mean, when you sit where we sit, it just feels like the left fielder's standing right on top of the infield. It's just that that wall feels so close, and the left fielder can play shallow because of it. It looks like he's 50 feet behind the infield dirt. A little bit more than that, literally, but
it makes sense.
Yeah. And that's the way to do it.
Playing there every day, and you're going to learn the nuances of a ballpark, and that certainly is one of them here at Minute Maid Park. You know what? You think about what's happened in San Francisco with how right fielders play right field. They play it over towards the gap to protect against Triples Alley, and we don't see that many balls pulled. And outfielders give the right side of the field. Hitters are taught today to use the middle of the field, and I think it's really changed how right fielders play because of how it's played at AT&T. I think around the league, right fielders now are pinching the gap in right center and giving line. And here in this ballpark, Astros have figured it out. Plus, it also helps that you have a guy like Grossman who goes back on the ball very well.
Good hitters count here for Pagan. 3-1. We got Panik at first. We'll see if he takes off. He does not. Pagan pulls one into right field. Second hit of the game for Pagan. Panik has to stop at second.
No, you're not going to take on Colby Rasmus. He's got a cannon in right field. Pagan stays hot. Pretty good pitch to hit, middle in with a little cut right out there at the belt, and he rifles it into right field. And now Buster Posey gets a chance to hit with 2 men on.
Well, good chance here for the Giants. Posey's 0 for 2. Flied out to right his first time up, grounded out on the first pitch he saw in the third. Astros would love to get a ground ball. First pitch, curve in for a strike. Kind of that get it in style curveball.
It's a good pitch. It's a big breaking ball. I mean, lots of arc on it. It's not one you're going to go up there looking for on the first pitch. Well, that was a little different movement, but
just as effective. Strike two.
Well, you're right. Different movement. First pitch, big slow curveball here. A nice tight little cutter, but absolute perfect location. Outside corner at the knees. Bang. And Posey. Two really nice pitches in the 0-2 hole. Quick.
And a big spot in this game. Giants ahead 3-1. It's the fifth. Two-strike pitch in the dirt with a curve and well blocked by Castro. Castro's a good defensive catcher.
Yeah, and for a guy 6'3", I think he does something that's exceptional, and you don't see it very often with tall catchers. I think he frames the low pitch well, and I think he's a good blocker. And that says a lot about the athleticism of Castro. Most of your really good framers are little guys.
I saw the arm from Castro earlier in the game. Posey still behind 1-2. Pitch high. He's got the count even. And we'll see if he gets something to hit here. Target away, and a curve comes back in. Well, from 0-2 to 3-2. And that gives the Giants perhaps some incentive to put Panic and Pagan in motion. We'll see.
Well, you're betting on contact, and you've got your best hitter up there in the box. You start your runners. You're going to open up one of your middle infielders is going to have to cover second base.
Well, they go. Posey hits one hard to third. It kicks off of Valbuena, and everybody's safe. And I don't know how they'll score that, but Posey just hit a smash.
That thing had massive hair on it. I don't know if they're going to give him an error on there. Just a little cutter, middle in. And Posey squares it up. Now, if Valbuena gets that, I mean, it's an easy double play, but that would be a very rough error if indeed they gave an error.
Yeah, I don't know that you can score that an error. If the standard is ordinary effort, that was not ordinary. Well, they gave him an error.
Wow.
Here's Belt with a chance to do some real damage. Bases loaded, one out, and ahead of the count now, 1-0. Belt tonight, to me, looks like he's 1 for 2, but it looks like he's seeing the ball pretty well out of the hand of McHugh. Seeing the ball well from just about everybody these days.
Oh, yeah, he's been in heat.
There's a strike and a good take. You're ahead of the count, 1-0. That was a perfect pitch.
Belt has hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games. He is 15 for 31 with 4 walks. I mean, he's just been putting on a clinic.
Trying to get a pitch to hit hard somewhere. Shift on. Belt takes a ball just outside. Changeup.
That's the one that McHugh wanted to chase. Now, this is really a rough error. Let's take a look at the way this thing comes up on the backhand. I mean, it looks catchable in slow motion, but it's just one of those 50-50 plays where half the time it's going to be an error, half the time it's going to be a hit. Tough. It's a rough error.
2-1. And now ball 3. So Belt is really in the driver's seat here. There is no margin for error. A walk will force in a run.
Well, and he's got to think fly ball. You've got good arm in right field. Well, a great arm in right field, great arm in center, and average arm in left. But the guy in left's playing very shallow, so it's going to have to be at least a medium fly ball. Pretty good speed with Panic at third.
3-1 to Belt with the bases loaded. And Brandon swings right through that high cutter. Strike 2.
Cutter indeed. You can see when McHugh has his back against the wall, that's what he comes at you with. To him, that's the magic pitch. He doesn't think anybody can hit this thing. Doesn't have big movement.
Well, what a big spot in the game this is. Full count. And Belt strikes out swinging. He went right back to that same pitch.
Same location. So his magic pitch does not let him down, and that is a huge strikeout because it is a one-out runner at third base situation with the bases full. And this is not an area of the plate where you go out thinking you're going to get a ground ball. You're pitching to strike the guy out.
So 2 outs, and now it will take a hit from Maxwell. Forget about even just the sac fly. With bases loaded, 3-1 count. You got Belt red hot. Giants are thinking big damage. Curve for ball 1 to Maxwell. Astros do have the bullpen working. The left-hander Kevin Chapman was getting loose.
86 pitches into the night. Really, not a lot of it has been stressful since the second inning until this inning. But the pitch count definitely is why the bullpen's going.
Maxwell's 1 for 2. He's hit the ball very softly both times. And he chases one there.
Again, another perfectly placed cutter. Behind him to count 1-0. See Kevin Chapman, the lefty, get heated up.
He went back to that spot, and this time Maxwell took it.
Say this about Fairchild. I mean, there have been times we've seen him be inconsistent with the strike zone. That has not been the case tonight. It has not been wide to the corners, but he's been given knee highs and belt highs, kind of like a rule book strike zone.
Hey, what do you know?
Somebody's calling the rule book.
2-1. Maxwell over top the curveball, strike 2.
They had good balance in that swing, however. It's a curveball. I mean, that's an off-speed pitch and a breaking ball. A lot of guys will get out front. He did not.
All right, so what's the pitch he's gone to every time he's been in a spot?
Cutter. But with his command, I don't think he's fearful of a 3-2 count. This is his chance to go out of a strike zone here and hope that Maxwell chases.
2-2. Well, Maxwell stays alive. He went with that pitch, but he put it down and away. Good pitch. Maxwell did well just to get a piece of it.
Oh, you're right. And Maxwell knows in a 2-strike count, you have to expand your zone. And that's exactly what that swing was all about. It was a perfect pitch in a 2-2 count.
Giants trying to open this game up a little bit. The former Astro at the plate. Another 2-2, and a curveball is hit on one hop. What a stop by Gonzalez, and the throw gets by Altuve. Now Pagan breaks for the plate, and he'll score. Panic has already come in to score. So on that play, 2 runs come home, and the Giants' lead is 5-1. Wow.
Now, I would think that they would rule this a hit and an error. But another pretty good pitch right off the end of the bat, kind of a top spin one hopper, and Gonzalez gets it. His only chance was at second, and he throws a little wide of Jose Altuve at second. Take a look at his effort. This would have been a great play. I don't think he had a good grip on the ball. The hop came up high to Altuve, and he couldn't stay with it.
I think you have to give a hit initially, and then you can say error to allow the second run to score. And that's going to do it for the Astros starter, Colin McHugh. He's coming out of the game. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, in the fifth inning, with a little bit of good fortune, the Giants have knocked the Astros starter Colin McHugh out of the game. 5-1 Giants lead, and out of the bullpen, a left-hander, Kevin Chapman.
Chapman off to a pretty good start in a couple of games. He's allowed just 3 base runners in 4 innings, 5 strikeouts against the 1 walk, and you can see a low 90s fastball and a hard slider and a changeup. Chapman, 27 years old, just about a year's time at the big league level.
So Chapman to Crawford here with 2 on and 2 out and 2 runs in. McHugh out of the game. Strike 1 to Brandon, 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
Chapman, a former 4th-round pick by the Kansas City Royals in the 2010 draft.
Well, of course, he was playing at AAA Fresno. That's now the Astros AAA team. Crawford crushes one into right center field, into the gap, and it will bounce up over the wall. My goodness, that's a bad break for the Giants and for Crawford. That was going to score Maxwell. Maxwell could have crawled home. Well, instead, he's got to stop at third. Brandon Crawford with a double. It's 6-1 Giants.
Looking breaking ball, getting breaking ball, and just putting a great swing on it. Finds a gap in right center. This ball is roasted. And here's the bad break. It hits the warning track and kicks right over the wall. And that costs him an RBI.
Well, good at bat from Crawford, but should have been better. He might have had a triple had that stayed in the park.
I agree.
So we'll see if Duffy can come through again. Matt Duffy already with 1 huge hit in this game. A 3-run double in the second. He smashes that one over Altuve, right center field. Another hit for Duffy. Maxwell scores. Crawford scores. So who cares if the ball bounced over the wall? It's 8-1.
That's a 5 RBI night for Matt Duffy. 15 RBIs for Duffy.
We don't even have to look that up. That's a career high for him tonight.
Just going right with it, jumping on the first pitch. Fastball challenge out over the plate, and look at him go with the location. Ball away, right center field gap, perfect at bat.
And the Astros are going, who is this guy? 8-1. There's Blanco. Ball 1.
Is that a first?
What?
8 runs?
You're right. They've broken through.
Yeah, about that.
The ceiling is busted. They had not even scored 7 in a game. This is incredible.
Who are these guys?
6 had been this. It's May 12th. They had not scored more than 6 runs in a game. Tonight, Duffy's knocked in 5 all on his own. Time granted late. Chapman threw the pitch anyway, but time had been granted. That tends to happen with Blanco.
But he's just not going to let a guy freeze him. He's also got a little routine, a little rhythm that he gets himself into, and if a pitcher upsets that, he'll stop and ask for timeout.
He swings and foul tips one, strike 2. Well, the Giants and the Astros have been charged with 2 errors in this inning, but the Giants have been ringing the ball, hitting it hard all over the park. Taking advantage of a couple little mistakes and blowing this game open. That is strike 3 call. There's the high strike we've been talking about. But the Giants scored 5 times. Matt Duffy knocks in 2 more, and they lead 8-1.
Special event package will include a ticket to the game versus the Dodgers and a Travis Ishikawa bobblehead with a sound chip that has John Miller's call of Travis's historic NLCS home run. Reminder, to receive the Ishikawa bobblehead, you need to purchase a Japanese Night special event ticket. All you need to do is go to sfgiants.com/special events.
Strike one from Heston to Chris Carter, bottom of the fifth, and look at the score. Yep, that's an 8 next to the SF. Foul ball. It's 0-2. They've done it. We knew they were going to, at some point, score more than 6 runs in a game. But it took a long while. I think the year no Giants team had taken this long to get 7 or more in a game since 1914. Something like that.
Something weird like that.
Tonight, all they had to do was get Matt Duffy in the lineup.
Well, I would have to bet you're going to see him again tomorrow. You get 5 RBIs. I mean, that's a pretty good statement.
Well, and Bruce Bochy was asked about it. Of course, it's a big story, a big deal. Casey McGee, sort of the established veteran. How much playing time can Duffy get at third? That ball is raked foul. That got in the seats in a hurry. But Bochy said, well, look, Duffy got the game-winning hit on Sunday. He's swinging the bat well. I'm going to give him the start, and I will play Casey McGee tomorrow at third. So you might have to find another spot for Duffy.
Well, it won't be DH. I mean, Buster Posey is going to DH tomorrow. Give him a chance to rest his legs. But
catcher.
Yeah, strap it on, Matt Duffy.
3-2. Carter to Duffy. Plays the high hop and takes his time. 1 out.
But you have a lot of options with Matt Duffy. You can play him anywhere in the infield, really, including first base. He has played first base. He had an appearance in San Diego early in the year. And really, you could throw him in a corner outfield position, too, if you wanted to rest somebody. Which, you know, is always an option. The guy who's going to pitch tomorrow for Houston is Brett Oberholzer, and he's a left-hander.
Yeah. So maybe a start at second. Give Panik another day off. Although Panik's been swinging the bat well. Who knows? Point is, Bruce Bochy does have some choices.
Well, and it's nice to be a player that can play other positions that Duffy can do. I mean, he's a utility guy. He's versatile. He can play anywhere.
He could play in the outfield. There's a sinker that misses 2-0.
Well, especially here in left field, and you don't have a lot of area to cover. I mean, you can play shallow. But, you know, usually your middle infielders are the guys who are the athletes that can adapt to another position. And I don't think that Duffy would have a problem playing any one of the corner outfield positions. But you get a hot bat like that, I mean, 5 RBI night, you're going to be playing someplace. He's not done yet.
It's just the 5th inning. Jason Castro hits one, and Duffy with a great jumping catch.
It's Matt Duffy night.
See, you make yourself very popular with the broadcasters. We talk about you, we say nice things about you, and then you make a play like that.
Well, the other thing, too, as we watch the replay, watch jump ball. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he didn't touch the rim on that one. Nice. Another look at it from behind home.
The Rockets just started their game a couple blocks away. Maybe they could use him.
Well, as hot as he is right now, I think he'd strap on a pair of tennis shoes, go out to see how he can do.
Marwin Gonzalez, the Astros shortstop. 0 for 1.
But, you know, we talked about being the key in this game. Is whoever plays the cleanest defensive ball game, because of the type of pitchers that were in this game tonight, was going to have the advantage of probably going to win this game. And The Giants took advantage of 2 errors in that inning.
Curve, good pitch, strike 2.
And that's something that they haven't been consistent in doing. Taking advantage of another team's mistakes.
1-2. Gonzalez chases the curveball, strike 3. Nice inning from Chris Heston.
Shut down.
Offense gives him all those runs. Giants lead 8-1. Day game is sold out. Still some tickets available for the 2 night games. sfgiants.com/tickets, the place to go. Those will be big games. As always. Aoki, look out. Who was that? Hector Sanchez? Well, yep, it was Hector. Test the net. Make sure it'll hold up.
I don't think Hector trusts that net after looking at the big hole in that thing. All right. He's got something to do now. He's going to repair that.
1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Yeah, break out the athletic tape.
I mean, Hector has not had a lot to do lately. Aoki fouls another one away.
If you're a bench player, I mean, you have no problem doing that. If somebody breaks a glove, you have no problem trying to fix it.
Or that.
You know what? Now, that right there, that's probably going to be there for the next 2 years.
When we come back in 6 years, we'll check it out.
Ooh, I don't know about this one.
Aoki. Yeah, I don't know either.
Astros are going to look.
That one looked to me like he was out. But
yeah, he's out.
He was out.
That's Jim Joyce on the call, the crew chief. So they're going to go over and take a look. And he indeed got him.
So that one I think will be changed.
Chris Carter going down to get the 1 hop.
Should not take too much time. This replay review brought to you by Xfinity. Joyce with the headset on, and they're chatting with New York, the umpires at the replay center in New York. They show it up here in Houston. They do a good job in the ballpark in Houston of giving you the best look. And he was out.
So this is the replay they just showed on the big board here.
Yep. See the glove move. Ball was already in the glove. So Aoki, yeah, I think Aoki knows it. He's looking up at that big video board. And let's make it official.
Boom.
Yeah. Not too bad for Aoki, but they got the call right. There's A.J. Hinch, the first-year manager with the Astros. He's with the Diamondbacks for a couple of years. Getting a second chance to manage, and they love him here. He's doing a good job.
But that's not why you like him.
Well, I like him for a few reasons. He is a good Stanford guy. He's from this part of the world. He's from Oklahoma. He grew up in Oklahoma. All-time great Stanford player. I was talking to him before the game. He caught Tim Hudson's major league debut with the A's. He caught Jeremy Affelt's big league debut with the Royals. She knows those two guys well. He followed up saying that to me. It may be time for those guys to start considering retirement. I caught their big league debuts. This is my second manager's job. That ball is a foul ball.
Well, the thing about A.J. Hinch, his first stab at being a big league manager was with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And however you fare, whether you win or you lose, you learn a lot your first time through, and you learn from your mistakes. It's kind of how this business is. Any business is. But he really has done a nice job here, and really nothing but rave reviews from the players. He's open, he's honest, he knows how to run a game. He knows how to create matchups that are favorable to the type of talent that he has on his bench. And they believe in it. And that's all you need to have said about you as a manager. They got a good thing going down here in Houston.
Yeah. I think he's a good fit. Ball 3 to Panic. Well, he's a good guy. He's a smart guy. He's a former catcher. He's got some big league credentials.
30 managers in the big leagues, 15 are former catchers.
That is amazing.
And most of them were backup catchers.
AJ fits in that. There's ball 4. Close pitch, but Panic takes the walk. When he was at Stanford, he was a big prospect. That was a first-round pick. And he ended up, he had a bunch of years as a major league player, but just never became the star that a lot of people thought he would. But I do think there's something to not just being a catcher, but a backup. You watch the game maybe in a little different way. You learn how to have a different role on a team that can be conducive to the same skills you need as a manager. Pagan batting right-handed against Chapman, the reliever. There's a strike.
I think when you're a backup catcher, you're the kind of guy that pays attention to a lot of small detail. And inevitably, those are the same type of details that you have to pay close attention to when you're a manager.
Well, what's going on? Chad Fairchild.
Yeah, there's a light. There's a light coming from one of the booths.
Yeah, just below us, I guess.
But second base umpire Greg Gibson saw the light.
Yeah, a little motor scooter. Oh, there we go.
I don't think he even knew it was on.
Yeah. Well, we not only got that corrected, we saved his battery.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay.
Thought he was yelling at you for talking too much about a former Stanford alum.
Yeah. Quit looking at me, Fairchild. Hey, he was pointing right up towards us.
I mean, the acoustics in this ballpark, you could hear him like he was in the room.
One to Pagan. Not quite like old Tiger Stadium where the broadcast booths were right behind home plate.
I never went in there.
Oh, that's
never saw it.
That's too bad.
And every broadcaster has said the same thing. It was exciting because the foul balls had come up there so often.
Look alive. Ball 2.
And that's the one thing about this generation player that is such an advantage because, every ballpark is a book. Every ballpark is a story. And when you're in interleague play, you get to see all the ballparks. I mean, I played big leagues for 13 years. I never saw Tiger Stadium.
That is
I never
amazing.
saw Fenway Park until we went there as a broadcaster. Here we got to play in it. Same thing with Yankee Stadium.
Pagan swings away 2-1 and pops one foul out of play.
Never saw the ballpark in Cleveland. The only way I saw the Comiskey Park in Chicago was when we had the home and away 2-game series after the '81 strike where the Cubs played the White Sox, a home and away. The only time that I got a chance to pitch an inning there, but I just think it's so much more fun for a player. It's obviously more fun for a fan. It's caught the imagination of the fans everywhere. It's a hit. But from a player's perspective, you get to see the other ballparks. And that's cool.
Chapman ready for the 2-2 pitch. Pagan strikes out swinging.
A little changeup or a batting practice fastball. Took a little off and had Pagan reach it. Right now, if you can make Pagan reach to where he loses his hands, it's so good at keeping him back from both the left and right side. But here, that's reach, and you haven't seen that happen to him very often. Good pitch.
So 2 down for Posey. Buster, they did not give him credit for a hit, but he helped build that rally with what I thought should have been a hit. In the 5th inning, he's 0 for 3. Just to finish the point about interleague, you can quibble with the schedule the way it is now that it's 15 American League, 15 National League. We got some of these weird 2-game series. 2-0 the count to Posey. But one thing that it has done, interleague play is finally the way it was sold to us, where, hey, we're going to rotate it through evenly. Every team, you'll go to you'll go to each division. You'll see every team every 6 years. Now that's built into the schedule. Before, there was just no rhyme or reason to it. And to me, what you're saying is the point of interleague. See the stars, see the ballparks on a regular basis.
Yeah, we're kind of jaded in the Bay Area because we have American League, National League Baseball. Chicago can say the same thing, New York, Los Angeles. But for the most part, big league cities have one team.
3-0 to Posey. We'll see if he swings away 3-0. No, because it's ball 4.
And if you're in Minnesota or Kansas City or you're in San Diego or Atlanta, I mean, you don't have a chance to see the other league. Interleague.
Yeah. Of course, here they have interleague play because for 40 years plus they were a National League team. Now they're in the American League. Fans of this generation, at least these last couple of years.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
So Brent Strom going to come out, have a word with Chapman.
We saw Will Harris, who was warming up in the bullpen. He's giving him a look here.
Brent Strom pitched with the Yankees, the Indians, the Padres.
Here's a guy who knows a little bit about pitching.
Hall of Famer, 5,714 career strikeouts. Greatest strikeout pitcher in the history of baseball right there.
Does not look totally thrilled with the Astros pitching tonight.
He is not enthusiastic.
He is not happy with what he's seeing. 2 on, 2 out. Belt against Chapman. There's a strike with a fastball. The Astros, for a team that has never won a World Series, they've come close. They've had a lot of good teams. They have a history full of stars, especially on the pitching side. Nolan Ryan, one of them. Slider outside. Just before the game today, we were down there by the cage. There was Nolan Ryan. There was Craig Biggio. Larry Durker was there. They keep a lot of their former players around, involved. Bagwell's around a lot.
I've never met a guy that played here that didn't like it.
Strike 2 to Belt. Hey, Art Howe is here too. That's Biggio. That's Nolan's son, Reed Ryan, who's also involved with the franchise. Very well-regarded guy. 1-2. Very high. Reed Ryan is the president of business operations with the Astros, in case you were wondering. I mean, just on the pitching side in their history, they've had Nolan Ryan, J.R. Richard, Mike Scott, Roger Clemens, Roy Oswalt. Andy Pettit had some good years here. That's a pretty amazing group of pitchers. And others. The Necros.
Well, Astrodome was a great place to pitch. I mean, it had turf, which is never a great thing for a pitcher, but the dimensions there, you couldn't hit the ball out, especially to center field.
Unless you were Will Clark.
Against Nolan Ryan.
3-2. Runners go. Belt strikes out swinging. Giants are retired. Couple walks to left. Middle of the 6th. It's 8-1 Giants.
Is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Well, if you're looking for the best coverage of San Francisco Giants baseball, log on to csnbayarea.com as insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting of the Giants season with breaking news, videos, special features, and much, much more only on csnbayarea.com.
There are, I think, surprisingly, a lot of Giants fans here. The school's not out yet. We're a long way from home. And they have been pleased with what they've seen. 8-1 Giants, last of the 6th.
Gamer. Got his glove. Okay, it really has been a nice pitch for Heston tonight, has been that changeup.
Really good. Well, he's sort of an afterthought in this game in a way, because it seems like he's been on the mound for about 10 minutes. Giants have been at the plate the whole game. Yeah, the Grossman 1-2. Good sinker. Look at that thing snap back into the strike zone. That was nasty. So, 1 out. Warriors playoff central. Warriors Grizzlies pre and post game coverage for every game. Game 5 Wednesday tomorrow. Coverage begins at 6:30. Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Well, you guys didn't get to watch last night. We were here in Houston by the time that game tipped off. So I ordered room service and watched the Warriors.
Well, can't say that we didn't watch it. We were at the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame banquet, and Dwayne Kuiper did have his cell phone, and the game was on right there in front of us. So we were watching it. We didn't have the opportunity to have sound, but we were definitely keeping an eye on it.
Well, what a game. The Warriors needed that, and they played great. Just a few blocks away. We could go catch the second half after this one if you want. The Clippers Rockets do some scouting. We could send some notes to Steve Kerr. If the Warriors can advance, they would play the winner of that Clippers Rockets series, and it's an elimination game. The Rockets have to win or it's over.
I love that about sport. Elimination games.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better.
It's a foul tip from Marisnik. Well, we have experienced quite a few of those with the Giants these last few years. 2010, we didn't get the thrill of the Giants. I mean, it's a thrill. It's not that fun when you're a fan, when you're a broadcaster. And if your team loses, the season's over. We got plenty of it these last couple times through.
Well, 2012 was unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Did they have 6?
Yeah.
6 elimination games?
In 2, just in the division and league championship series. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Another good curve from Heston, and he gets another strikeout.
That's 8 strikeouts now from Heston. 6 have been swing and miss strikes. And he get 3-2, breaking ball, and I mean a big hard snapper. And these Astros, who are an aggressive team, they have a lot of strikeouts. That is their reputation, and they have held true to the reputation tonight. Only it's against Chris Heston, who's not got that reputation as a strikeout guy, more of a ground ball guy.
So 2 down for Jose Altuve. They love him here in Houston. There's a strike. And why not? But I love the shot. We get that side shot sort of from this angle where you see Posey's not that much shorter in the crouch.
Well, and I mean,
look at that.
Chad Fairchild, I mean, he's tall, but he's not that tall. I mean, Altuve looks like his kid.
That's amazing.
But I think that's what adds to the delight of this guy.
Well, we were talking with a guy who watches a lot of American League Baseball scout before the game, and he said outside of Mike Trout, this guy might be the best player in the American League right now. I mean, it's amazing. Plays good defense. He's a great hitter. He steals bases.
Yeah, he's just energy. Every day, energy.
1-2. He slaps that one. Caught by Panic. And the inning is over. Kipes coming back to join Mike here on the TV side. Good night for the Giants in Houston, 8-1.
Time now for our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. It has been all Giants tonight. 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Astros 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors. The highlights: Chris Heston has been fantastic. In fact, he has retired the last 13 Astros he has faced. Matt Duffy has been the star. He is 2 for 3 tonight, a double and 5 RBIs. Giants with 8 runs scored tonight, a season high. That is our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
All right, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
And here to tell you all about it is Dwayne Kuiper.
Thank you very much. I think I will. Maxwell takes a start. I did not pay any attention. Who's pitching?
Will Harris.
Will Harris.
Would he be that gentleman?
Maxwell fouls it back. You and Dave may have talked about the official score changing his mind and giving Maxwell a base hit in the 5th inning. So Maxwell now with 2 hits, and the Giants with 9 total. So here's Harris, and it's down low.
Well, that's the way it should be.
No, I was like perplexed as to what was going on.
Harris, a 4-pitch pitcher. You're going to see a 90-ish fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, and that's the 12-6 curveball that he has.
This is the play that was perplexing to me.
Well, I mean, it should have been a hit and an error.
Yeah, and they gave Altuve the error.
That's a bad call.
That's a bad call. I actually thought Buster Posey's was a base hit. And they gave Maxwell an error. And Crawford lines this one, and it's right at Grossman in left field. So the error, they've changed it, does go to the shortstop. And Maxwell gets the RBI. So Crawford hits the ball right in the nose, and here's Duffy.
Having a career night.
He's got 5 runs batted in. He takes a pitch low. He's got 5. He's now 2 away from tying the leader on this team in RBIs. Matt Duffy currently getting votes for the National League All-Star team.
Justifiably.
Here's the pitch. If he hits it out of play, it's 1-2. On deck is Gregor Blanco. And the pitch. And Duffy stays in there and fouls it back. This is a base hit by Duffy in that 5th inning.
Well, jumping on the first pitch fastball challenge. Going the opposite way. Gets himself a couple of RBIs. Both of his hits tonight have come on the first pitch. Cleared the bases with a double in the left center field gap, and he got that base hit to knock in 2.
Duffy up the middle, and that's going to be hit number 3. So Duffy with a double and 2 singles, and that'll bring up Gregor Blanco. Blanco has walked. He's bounced out, and he got caught looking in the 5th. Pitch is high and wide, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Giants now with 10 hits. And Blanco goes the other way. Grossman back. Grossman is going to put it away on the track, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Luis Valbuena is going to lead things off.
Right here in Houston, you'll see it at 5 p.m. pregame live starting at 4:30, and you'll see it right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Tomorrow night it's going to be Tim Hudson on the hill against left-hander Brett Oberholzer. So check us out if you would. The home of your world champion Giants is Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area.
The big fist never gets old.
No, it does not.
That guy's over his head.
Yeah.
Here's Valbuena, who takes a pitch for a strike. Valbuena is 0 for 2. Heston, you wouldn't consider him a strikeout guy, would you?
You know, I mean, he can be. I think what he's done tonight is something that's pretty exciting, and it needs to be talked about. I mean, tonight his changeup has been lights out. His curveball has been lights out. He put the movement of the sinker into mind the first time through, and he's throwing cut fastballs off it as well. So he's starting to mix in more looks. I mean, he's been fantastic. 8 strikeouts tonight. He has retired the last 13 Astros in a row.
And given this is a team that's going to strike out a lot.
But it's also a team that's 8 games over 500, 20 and 12.
Got him.
Look at that. That's great command of your movement. That's a front door sinker. That ball goes into Valbuena. He sees it early, and he's identified it out of the hand of Heston as it's going to be inside. And then the movement comes back in, and it takes out the inside location. They set up the inside target, and watch him buckle. Look out, and here comes the movement. We said the movement on the sinker was going to be big tonight because of the humidity they have here in Houston, and boy, he has looked sharp. 9 strikeouts.
Swing and a miss by Gaddis. Gaddis is 0 for 2. He's bounced out twice. Hit into center field. Does Gaddis look like he hunts bear?
Yeah, with toenail clippers.
My goodness, look at that guy.
He's a beast. I mean, that's a guy, if you're pitching to you, you're kind of a little leery that if you ever do hit him, if he comes out to have a word with you, it would be a rough go.
Well, you just say, sorry, sir. Here's Colby Rasmus. Rasmus bounces this one foul. Rasmus has struck out twice. Overshift is on for Rasmus, and he's going to take one a bit wide.
Even when he's missing, he's not missing that far from the strike zone. See the shift.
And tight. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Center field, Pagan barely has to move, and that's going to end the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Heston. Top of the order coming up. 8-1 Giants. With MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment with in-game highlights. You get live look-ins, replays, you get radio broadcast, StatCast, and look, I could go on and on and on. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair expert. There's your new pitcher, Tony Sipp.
Tony Sipp, one of 3 left-handers they have in this Astros bullpen. Take a look at the numbers. In 12 games, he's been lights out. 12 strikeouts in 13 innings. And Sipp is a bit unique.
He's facing Joaquin Arias instead of Aoki.
It's one of those pitchers that can come out of the bullpen and give you a 90s fastball, a hard slider, and a changeup from a high 3/4 release, which there aren't many guys like that. When you have the high 3/4 release, you're going to have a deeper break on your curveball and your slider. The guy was a starter when he first got into professional baseball, and he's give you 2 types of fastball and then the slider and the changeup. He's got a curveball. He's using the slider almost exclusively now for his breaking ball.
It's 2-1 to Arias. Panic to follow, and then Pagan. And a strike, so it's now 2-2. (8-1) Giants here in the 8th. And that's tapped foul. So Sip replaces Harris, who replaced Chapman, who replaced McHugh. Into center field, racing in is the center fielder Marisnik, and he makes the running catch. 1 out.
Just a little poke, kind of all handsy type of a swing, not a lot of lower body into it. And you see Marisnik coming a long way. He's fast, tall guy. He can cover a lot of ground, and he had to. Become kind of a maintenance game for the Astros. They had a day off like the Giants did yesterday.
Panic is 1 for 3. He's singled and he's walked. And here he takes a strike. Days off at home are invaluable. Days off on the road are fine, but the ones at home, you can't beat them. And the Giants will have one of those on Monday.
You got big plans?
I do. I just don't know what they are just yet. Any event will not be further than 5 miles from our house. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, it's just nice to have a little barbecue, hang at the house for a while.
Hit on the ground towards the hole. Carter's going to backhand it and throw to Sip. 2 outs. And here's Pagan. Giants won't be home for very long. They'll spend Sunday night at home, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and that's it. They're back on a plane to Denver on Wednesday. There's Hudson. He'll pitch tomorrow. And then during that Denver series, there's a doubleheader. That'll be a long Saturday. Pack your lunch. Here's the pitch to Pagan, and it's low. Pagan is 2 for 4.
Well, and if you look at what the average game times are at Coors Field, I mean, that could be a 7-hour day of baseball.
Oh, I'm going to pack breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's what I would suggest.
Here's the 1-0 to Pagan. By far the best split doubleheader was one a couple of years back that we had in St. Louis. We're literally from the broadcast booth to our hotel room is a 5-minute walk. And in between games, you can go back to the room, relax, and take a nap if you want to. It's probably not going to happen in Denver.
Well, you never know.
Pagan, and a base hit, his 3rd. Tell you what, he's got the magic Wandu. It's hard to get hits to left field here, and he's got a couple tonight.
Well, and there's a reason for that because of how shallow the left fielder plays. Here he hits it right off the end of the bat, just throws it over the head of Gonzalez, the shortstop. Boy, I mean, you get hits like this when you stay in one piece. Very calm upper body, head stays still right through the swing.
Guess who's going to be on the 3:30 bus tomorrow?
Angel Pagan. He was there today, and he's got a 3-hit night.
Mr. Posey's 0 for 3. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. And do ball players think like that?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Do old broadcasters that were ball players think like that?
Yes, they do.
Posey hits one deep to right, but it's in the park for Rasmus, and that'll end the inning. Heston on a roll. He'll face Chris Carter when we come back. Game live. You get highlights, you get reaction to this game and analysis. It's all coming up right after the game. It's a 8-1 lead for the Giants, and it'll be Chris Carter to lead things off. Jason Castro hit a home run in the second inning with 2 outs. Nobody has reached since.
Chris Heston, 2 hits in 7 innings, no walks. He's retired the last 16 in a row. 7 of those 16 by strikeout, and he's got a career high 9 strikeout night going. And this was an interesting start to watch, to see how he was going to respond from his last outing when it didn't go that well for him. He had went 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, 11 hits in San Francisco, but tonight he has been brilliant.
And the 0-2 to Carter. 1-2. Right now it just looks like he can pretty much throw the ball wherever he wants to.
With every pitch and every speed that he has.
Got him.
Backdoored him. See you later. That's 10 strikeouts, folks. And I think the guy that's enjoying this more than Heston is the guy in the squad. Buster Posey is just having a ball here. Sets a wide target. The ball wraps around, drops it right between the knees. He never had to move his glove. And Chad Fairchild says, take a hike.
Well, here's Castro, who's had some pretty good swings against Heston. But this one is right at Pagan. 2 outs.
And 1 pitch out.
Well, you get one pitch out, you got a chance to pitch the ninth.
You know, what he has done since he's got to the big leagues is he's enhanced the amount of looks that he can give a pitcher. He showed up and really was pretty predictable to 3 types of movement. Now he's given 5, and it makes all the difference in the world.
So that's the 4th one pitch out in this game for Chris Heston. So we'll go to the 9th. Morning, Michael, talk about the game, amongst other things, with Murph and Mac on KMBR 680, the sports leader. New pitcher. Samuel Deduno. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
There you see Samuel Deduno's number. He's a swing man. He's made 2 starts. He's not an overpowering pitcher at all. You'll see velocity in high 80s, low 90s occasionally. More high 80s than low 90s. But he's got strikeout stuff. He's going to throw a lot of stuff at you. I mean, he'll throw curveballs and changeups. He'll sink and cut the ball.
Well, Belt started out 1 for 1, and since then he's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
With a lot of pass list here tonight.
Yeah.
So he's grinded. Yeah, there's Haley, his wife, and his little boy Grayson.
It's Bumgarner's wife to the right of Haley, Allie. There's a strike, and it's 2-2. I tell you what, when you got a child that age and your husband's hitting, it's impossible to watch.
You're right.
You can't. Look at, he's chewing the chair. He's all over the place. Belt out for the 3rd time. Maybe it was a good thing that Haley just wasn't paying attention.
Well, that's a hat trick.
See, that,
she never saw it.
Not a problem.
There's not a baseball player's wife who has a child that cannot relate to that.
Oh, my goodness. Here's Maxwell. Maxwell's got a couple of hits. And in your case, Jennifer had more than one on her lap. She had 5.
Yes, she did.
Maxwell hits a high pop-up down the right field line for Rasmus. And that's out number 2.
When we were in the minor leagues, she used to always keep score of the game. And then we started having babies. You couldn't keep score.
Yeah, you had to keep score of how many kids she had.
Yep. Take inventory after every
you count them. Before you leave, you got to count them, right? See if they're all in the car.
There's a few times we left a few back. And I'm not making that up.
Crawford doubled in a run in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. Lined out to left in the 7th.
But a lot of fun for him to be raised at the ballpark.
Didn't they make a movie or something like that? It was called Home Alone. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I made a couple of those.
Oh yeah, Home Alone 2, 3, 4.
But same concept.
Same concept.
Crawford has hit the ball well tonight.
Right at the shortstop, Gonzalez, who was playing him perfectly, and that's going to end the inning. He does. He hits the ball hard a lot, and nothing to show for it. Heston's coming out.
Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by Honda. We think that Chris Heston has been that guy. Well, how good was he? 26 batters he's faced tonight. He has struck out 10. That's a personal high. He's had 5 groundouts, just 4 balls hit in the air. And he's had 5 one-pitch outs. That is worthy of being called our player of the game. Brought to you by Honda.
So here's Robbie Grossman. First pitch is wide. Now number of pitches 100 for Chris Heston. And you say that just for no other reason, just as a reference.
Well, they've been pretty stress-free pitches too. I mean, he's only been in a stretch once, and that was in the first inning. I mean, he gave up a 2-out home run to Jason Castro in the second inning. That's the only run they put up there. He's only given up the 2 hits. So it's been out of the windup all night long. I mean, that's stress-free.
And he gets the call. Didn't have to be. It's 3-1. If you're around the plate a little bit like Heston's been, then you're going to get that call.
You're right. He's earned it.
Hit on the ground. Panic from the cut of the grass. You know, we chose Heston as our player of the game, but this is like honorable mention with 4 stars behind it. And Matt Duffy's been fabulous. He's got 3 hits. He's got 5 RBIs. But Mike being the starting pitcher, I'm being the old infielder, He's bigger than I am. We're going with the starting pitcher.
Yeah, I think we go with 200.
I'm not saying you bullied anybody, but we'll go with Heston.
Well, it's nice to be talking about 2 personal highs. Heston with 10 strikeouts, Duffy with 5 RBIs.
2 guys from the Giants system.
2 rooks, absolutely.
Get on the ground. Duffy's got the short hop. And he got him. Actually, Mikey, look around the whole infield. The whole Giants farm system.
You're right. Buster Posey behind the plate. Brandon Belt at first base. Joe Panik at second. Brandon Crawford at short. Matt Duffy at third, and then Heston on the hill. I mean, you've got 6 guys out there that are all from the Giants organization. All draft picks, all raised within the system.
So here's Altuve. Altuve takes a strike. He's 0 for 3. His last at bat, he did hit a line drive right at Panik. Hit on the ground foul, so it's a quick 0-2. Altuve came into the game hitting .338. He's now at .331. Heston standing tall on the mound. Breaking ball, and it's popped back and out of play. Seeing as how you and I got up at 4 this morning, you made the prediction. We got up to catch a flight. I'm here to Houston that we'd go 16 innings tonight. I'm glad you're wrong.
No doubt. I just knew it was going to happen.
Altuve pops it up, and this should do it. It's going to be a complete game for Chris Heston, and that's going to do it. So the opening game on this road trip goes to Chris Heston with an exclamation point behind Matt Duffy. So a nice job by 2 of those young men.
Well, indeed, and impressive for Heston following what was a rough outing, his last outing in San Francisco. And you always watch as to how young guys are going to handle adversity. He was brilliant tonight. Absolutely could not pitch any better.
The last 22 batters retired in a row for Chris Heston. Final score here from Minute Maid Park. It's the Giants 8 and the Astros 1. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live. That starts right now.